The other day, me and Levi saw cow birth twins. That was like the first cow birth we saw.
Mm-hmm.
And it was pretty amazing, pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Does that ever like what point in farming does that get old?
Never.
Never.
Mm-mm. It'll stop me in my tracks every day.
Why?
Just does.
I started working on a farm, worked on a farm for several years, and then had an opportunity to buy a farm. We started with 300 cows and a rented barn, no land. And today we farm 1,500 acres with 1,000 cows, and I thought if we could be successful running a dairy business, we could probably be successful running any business.
My family has a 60 cow dairy farm in Delaware County, and so that makes me a 4th generation farmer. There's something about agriculture and dairy farming that kind of connects with who I am.
I was born and raised on a 75 cow farm 11 miles away from here. I just enjoyed it so much that I decided to make that my life's work.
My husband, Keith Chapin, is a partner at Walnut Ridge Dairy. One of the things that really drew me to him was his passion for farming. Every moment he just thought about how can I become my own dairy farmer.
I grew up in dairy farming from a family farm. My grandfather, great-grandfather had purchased the farm that I grew up on in 1900.
Came back and joined my father and grandfather after 1 year of college in 1976. So this is my year 40.
So I grew up on a 60 cow dairy. So I spent, from about as soon as I could walk, I was out in the barn. At 12 years old, I was feeding calves. And I guess a big part of it just it's almost in your blood. Once you get it, once you do it, and once you find out that you really like it, it's tough to walk away from it. It's one of those things that just sticks with you.
The small working farmer earns his living on the land. He works the soil to feed and clothe this country, and he buys much of the nation's goods. 1/4 of the American people live by the land. The small farmer has a big stake in the life of America.
Well, I think there's a lot of misconceptions about large dairy farms that we don't care about our animals and we don't care about our land, and it's sad because it's quite obviously not true.
There's very few people that have a really, really positive opinion of dairy farms or farming in general. We have a lot of people come through here for small tours, big tours, spontaneous tours, and I would say most people come out of here with a different opinion of farming, if not dairy farming, than what they had when they walked in.
People probably have no idea what a farm really is today, and I don't think they realize how much technology is involved. I don't think they realize how much science is involved. I've got 1,500 acres of some of the best cropland in the state of New York, but it's only mine to manage for my career, 40 years or something. It's been here for centuries. It will be here for centuries.
Some people still think we wear straw hats and chew on a piece of hay and have suspenders that wrapped around our shoulders, but those days really aren't around much anymore.
I really think there's a good portion of the population now that doesn't even realize we exist. That they think milk comes from the store, but there are people and animals behind every ounce of it, I guarantee you.
The consumer is so disconnected from what we are. They've got no idea what we're doing, and it's partially
partially our fault, trying to convince them that we're not doing it bad. You know what? We'll open our doors and show you what we do, why we do it, how we're doing it, that we care, and that we're trying to do the best that we can every day, so.
Majority of the milk is made is in this barn. So we have about 500 cows in what we call a 6-row barn. All the cows in here get milked 3 times a day. And then the other 3 pens are making 105 to 115 pounds per cow average.
It's never boring. Do something different every day. You never really know. I guess that's half of the frustration and half of the enjoyment I get from this vocation is the fact that no 2 days are the same.
We have 17 total employees, and 12 of them are Hispanic. We wouldn't be able to do what we do without them.
Many of the families and the people that I have gotten to know over the years are not here with the intent to take a job away from an American. They are here because the conditions in their countries are so horrific that they have found no other option in their own country.
It's a constant shadow over your head, and not having a policy in place for the country. There's a shadow over them, and there's a shadow over us.
We struggled for a number of years trying to fill positions, and with local help, unsuccessfully. Some people perceive that as the people from other countries have pushed these local workers out of a job, and that is absolutely untrue in every sense. I would much prefer to hire local people and see the economy flourish. We just don't have that option today.
It's hard to make a living on that small scale, So if you're a 60 cow dairy, you don't get a day off. There's not a day, you don't have an hour off, So the reason the scale changes so much is a lifestyle. It's more about trying to make a living, and a good living, not just survive. At the core of it all is a group of people who care about animals and care about doing what's right.
The price of milk when we started in the late 70s was about $13.50 per 100 pounds of milk.
Same as today.
And very similar to today, interestingly enough. This year and last year, it means that we are actually producing for a little less than what it costs us to produce it. Efficiency is the only way we beat that curve of, pricing to provide for the American consumer.
The price with milk, it can range anywhere from, where you're making $4 or $5 per hundredweight over what you've got into it. Or like this year, you're gonna get $4 less than what it costs to produce the milk. So we don't have any say in what the price is gonna be, we just have to take what we get.
The financial end of things is really tough. We're a dairy farmer, first and foremost, but it is a business. And so when you don't get paid well enough for your product, you worry about how you're gonna make payments and make your mortgages, and you go to bed at night saying, oh, I gotta call the bank tomorrow, I have to borrow more money just so I can make payroll.
For many years, I worked off of the farm just to provide a stable income. And with farming, it's very unpredictable. It's just not something that you can depend on the same paycheck coming in every week.
In 1990, there was 11 or 12,000 dairy farms in New York State, and today there is less than 5. Dairy farming isn't something that you turn off when the prices are low and turn back on when the prices are high. For me, because of being a multi-generational operation, I was brought into this business with my father and grandfather, and I'm trying to hand it off. You know, but I got handed something, I wanna pass it through. That's all I want.
Last year we had a tremendous amount of rain. Crops suffered, from too much water. And now this year, the exact opposite. It never seems to rain. There will be people that go out of the dairy business. Farms will exit the dairy business, and not by choice.
You just hope for the best. You do the best that you can do every single day, and just stay positive. And how is it going to affect our farm? I don't want to think about it. I could probably tell you it's reality, but I'm not gonna. It's just depressing if you think about it.
Anytime a cow wants to lie down, she can lie down. Or there's normally about 10% that's either up drinking or eating or whatever, being a cow. But then what it also provides is that right now you can see every stall, every headlock has a cow eating in it. So all of our cows can eat anytime they want to.
They can eat or lie down.
They can eat or lie down. That's kind of the concept. And there's a lot more floor space. So there's room for the cows to move, poop, pee, be cows basically.
Cow comfort and taking care of the animals are top priority. It's basically, the cows are really supporting a lot of families right now. I mean, all of us that are out here doing this and every employee on the farm and their families are taken care of by the cow. So I think we stress cow comfort and cow care top notch.
There's been a lot of research done on dairy cows that the more comfortable your cows are and the more naturally your cows behave, the more milk they make. I know for us, if we see guys mistreating cows or treating cows incorrectly, there's not a 3 strikes and you're out. It's like you get 1 stern warning and a severe penalty. And if anything like it happens again, even, you look at a cow wrong, you can be we don't have a tolerance for it. We're responsible for their well-being. So we're not gonna allow or tolerate any behavior that seems like that.
When you talk to our cows, when you're trying to move them or you want to get them up or you want to work with them or whatever, you speak to them in terms of endearment, like honey, sweetheart, baby. You say those words with a certain tone in your voice and a certain inflection that is friendly and respectful.
You walk in our barns and each group has access to automatic back rubber, so they go up to this brush and it brushes their back. They basically get a massage anytime they want.
We have a responsibility for 8,500 animals here. And if every single one of them is not provided with the very, very, very best care that we can give her, we're not doing our jobs.
They're just as important to us as our grandkids. There's just I don't know how you can be a dairy farmer and not feel that compassion and that love for these animals. If you don't, you're not a dairy farmer. So when you see a baby born, gosh, it's like being a mom again. You just know the responsibility that's going to come around with this little girl. And you couldn't be more proud. You could not, you want to take a picture of it and go say, see, this is our little baby.
The opportunity to see life begin anew for a baby calf. I mean, that is, for us, that's the next generation. And when you see that baby calf for the first time, and I've seen thousands and thousands of calvings, it is a very special moment, and it'll never ever get old.
Cows also kind of learn who we are and who the guys who work here are, and they know that you're not from here. They're all just looking at you guys because you're not normal. You're normal, sorry, but you're not, normal in their world, right? So they're super aware of everything that's going on around them.
we're just like everybody else. It's just we choose to work with animals rather than work in an office. I'd do it for room and board if it ever came to it. Even on the bad days, I still love it.
I think in order to be a dairy farmer, in my opinion, you have to love it. If you don't have that drive and heart to want to do that, then I don't think you'll last in this business.
You can't be in the dairy industry or a dairy farmer without loving it.
It's not just the monetary reward, you know. If you're doing it for money, you know, you'd go be a banker.
I truly do love what we do and very, very passionate about of what we do. Maybe it's a little bit odd that that's all we really get excited about is cows, but that passion is what drives us each and every day. I've never had I've never had a day at work where I said I'm done with this. I'm not going to do this anymore. The good far outweighs the bad in this business for me.
Everybody's got hard stuff. Everybody deals with the good and the bad every day, and whether or not you can stick with it with a good attitude makes a big difference.
We do what we do because we love doing it, and we try to do the best job that we can in producing high quality food and at the same time doing what we love.
I've never woke up in the morning and wished I didn't have to go to work. I always think, even if you're gonna have a hard day, you still want to get there, excited, want to do it. And I think that's pretty universal with successful agricultural people.
There's no limit to what you can do. I mean, you can do whatever needs to be done. We've had a lot of challenges, and we've overcome